I think the most frustrating thing about being a psychiatrist is feeling really helpless sometimes. Not that, how do I mean to say this? Not that I'm helpless, but that I can't offer help in some instances. Like I can't. People have a problem and I can't fix it, and they're coming to me for help. And I spend all this time studying all these things. I spend hours a day studying, trying to figure out everything that I can to give people everything that I can to help them, and then trying to use all the knowledge that I've gained and experience that I have, and not being able to help them. And there's no situation where I feel more helpless than when I'm dealing with addiction. Alcohol, alcohol and heroin or opioids are probably the most difficult ones to deal with. Meth is kind of a different sort of problem. It's also really frustrating. What really eats at me though is when I'm working with somebody who has kids and how do I say this? Their kids need them really badly, and they are so addicted that I feel like I'm not even talking to them. I feel like I'm talking to their addiction, and they can't hear me. They can't think past the addiction, and I'm trying so hard to get them to change and to fight and everything they can do, and they're helpless. It's got them, and I can't get to them. And my inability to help them with their addiction is directly negatively impacting their children's lives. And I know this because I work with kids whose parents have addiction issues, and there's a lot of really serious trauma there, and then I try to help those kids. And so it's almost like as I'm talking to this person who's having the addiction problem, I'm trying to help them, but I'm also trying to help their kids. And I feel like I'm treating I feel like I'm trying to help the kid's future. It's a really weird experience. Sometimes it's so overwhelming and so frustrating and so hard that I almost can't handle it. And today was one of those days. I ended up turning on Enya and just trying to calm myself down. I got so worked up. So I think I get too worried about patients sometimes, and all the impacts of everything that we're doing with them, and all the lives that are kind of hanging in the balance. What I say, what I do could maybe help someone, could maybe save someone's life. What if I don't say the right thing? What if I can't help them? And then I don't know. I've had to sit there and watch people on their deathbed, and then I've had to talk to the kids who have been through that kind of scenario with their parents. These kids, and what's going on in their heads is they're wondering, why didn't my parents love me more than they loved the drugs, more than the alcohol? Why didn't they love me enough not to kill themselves? These kinds of things, and then I've got to try to deal with that. I should probably get a therapist. Therapy's great. Really recommend it. I recommend it to all my patients, but I don't have one. So anyway, this was my therapy session today. Sorry, TikTok. Hang in there, okay? Don't kill yourself. Please don't try addictive substances. The best thing that you can do for yourself and everyone else is just work your hardest to stay alive and to make good choices. And if you can't make good choices, at least stay alive. And I know sometimes you feel like you're a burden on other people, but it's more of a burden when you're not around, even though you feel like you're more of a burden when you're around. But when you're dead, it's like a burden that never goes away. So please stay alive, and somebody will try to get to you and help you eventually. Just don't give up. Good luck.